We are officially on to the Liga MX final, America versus Toluca. And honestly, I feel like it's been a pretty good Liguilla, but on my Instagram, I asked you guys to give me some hot takes about the Liguilla so far. And if you guys want to be part of the next video and have a chance to have your hot take talked about, then go follow my Instagram, and then next story that I post, you guys will be on it too. But yeah, man, as always, if you like the video, make sure to subscribe and drop a like. Let's get on to these hot takes right away, bro. So we're just gonna string along to our first hot take here. We got Sebas, and he says, this Tigres squad is the worst to ever make a semi-final. Black Magic ball at its finest. Now, worst ever, I don't know, man, because I don't know how far back you have to go to find a team this bad. But in recent history, this is the worst Tigres squad that we've seen. Gignac is obviously getting up there in age. And, you know, they don't instill the same fear that they used to when they used to dominate Liga MX, man. Even back the last title they won, that wasn't even their best team, bro. They got lucky that Chivas did a choke job. And yeah, man, ever since they lost to America, it seems like it's been downhill. But who knows? They're about to sign Angel Correa, and they could just revamp the squad like they always do, spending a shit ton of money. But I mean, we'll just have to wait and see about that. But what do you guys think? Mex Football Sanchez with the next take. If Chivas never beat America in 2023 Clausura, Liga MX looks much different. Well, yeah, because then America makes a final that tournament. They don't fire Tan Ortiz. They don't hire Andre Jardine, and the dynasty never starts. I think they could have beaten Tigres in that final, but you know, it's Tan Ortiz. He always finds a way to choke. He's had so many talented teams, man, and he just can't seem to get the job done. But yeah, man, thank God Chivas beat us that tournament because we hired Andre Jardine right after, and the dynasty started, bro. The Tetra Campeonato is coming. But yeah, man, I have to agree with this one. That one Mexico fan says, Henry Martin was mid, but he's still the GOAT. Now, I'm assuming that he's talking about the last game against Cruz Azul. And honestly, I didn't think he was mid. I thought he was actually one of our better players on the pitch, bro. A lot of stuff goes through him. And you can just see the difference in how the team plays when Henry Martin plays. His link-up play is good, his hold-up play is good, and he just makes the right pass most of the time. He might not be as aggressive as he once was, and he might not be scoring the amount of goals that he did before, but he is still super important to this team, especially when we don't even have like an actual good striker anymore. Because I like Buffalo, but you know, he's not that guy. But I think Henry Martin is so important to the team, also with his leadership and all that. So yeah, man, this has to be an L take. He is still the GOAT though, I'll agree with that. De Alcaraz 247. Good football overall. I'm liking Vega's resurgence, and America are clutch when it matters most. I am also liking Alexis Vega's resurgence, bro, because he was once looked at as the future of Mexican football, somebody that could play in Europe. And then, you know, Chivas happened and they kind of tanked his stock. You know, he wasn't doing the best outside of football. But now, bro, he's the best player in Liga MX by far. Like, the stats that he puts up are crazy. And yeah, man, it's like the whole narrative on him has changed. Before, he was looked at like as well a Mexican footballer shouldn't be. And now, you know, he's praised and talked about in a good light. So shout out to Alexis Vega. And then America are clutch when they need it most. They have been. We didn't do that well the first game against Pachuca, but then the second one, Sendejas comes up with 2 big goals. And then against Cruz Azul, you know what happens, bro. Down 2-0. They came back. They did good. And I agree, man. They've been pretty clutch. Maybe Valdo with the next opinion. Henry Martin is so underrated as he made the difference in that Cruz Azul game. Yes, 100%, bro. You guys saw the difference between how America played in the CONCACAF Champions League without Henry Martin and in the Liguilla with Henry Martin. America in the second leg looks so dangerous, especially in that first half, and Henry Martin had a lot to do with that, bro. The way he links up the play, his movement. Before he actually scored the penalty, he had 2 great chances. Well, one was before, the other one was after. The one where Fidalgo chips it into him and he gets a good hit, but a great save from Kevin Mier. And then the other one being the absolute great cross that Borja sends into him that hits 2 posts. And yeah, man, just with him, the whole team just plays better. He's such an important player. And even like his leadership and all that is just so important to the team, and I agree with this, Valdo. Luis Juarez says, Club America could finish in the quarterfinals of the Club World Cup. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how the whole tournament works. I just want to go to an America-Chelsea game. But when it comes to quarterfinals of the Club World Cup, if they get a result against Flamengo, then maybe they could. I'm not sure how it works. But first we have to focus on beating LAFC and actually qualifying for the fucking tournament. And I will be there. So hopefully we can actually do it, because I didn't spend all that money on the tickets just to see us fucking lose. Eric the God, aka Alexis Vega, go next. Vega is going down as a bigger legend than Cuauhtemoc Blanco. Well, to do that, he actually has to do something on the national team, you know, like in terms of Liga MX, like he can score all the goals he wants, he can do all that. But Cuauhtemoc has a good reputation with the national team. He actually has a goal at the World Cup, mind you, and he has a goal in the Confederations Cup final, all that. He has the Cuauhtemiña, which a lot of people around the world know him for. Like, you see that shit talked about on FIFA's official page. So yeah, man, even if he overtakes Cuauhtemoc Blanco's like 1 Liga MX, he still has to do a lot to be considered a bigger legend than him. But you know, we'll have to wait and see, man. He's already proven us wrong once. Next, we got Ondro with a take I actually agree with. I'm just gonna say it right now. Get rid of the tiebreaker rule. Teams should have to win on aggregate to advance. Now, I agree with this, but in the quarterfinals, I think it should be a thing. You gotta give the teams that finish higher seed like an advantage somehow. So I agree with it then, but then in the semifinals, bro, I do not agree. It should not be there. Like, don't get me wrong, America went through on that tiebreaker rule for being a higher position in the table, but I just don't think it should be that way, bro. They should have gotten extra time. That game deserved extra time, and I just don't see why you would want less football being played. But I mean, they want to give an advantage to the team that finishes higher, when I don't think that should be the case. I think in the semifinals, it should just be whoever's better on the 2 legs. But yeah, what do you guys think about that one? That was a controversial one. That 1-14 next. Chivas is better than America as in history, but America is better now. America's history is better, bro. They have more championships. They have more CONCACAF Champions Leagues. If you want to say that Chivas' history is better because they won a ton of titles in the 60s, right now in the past like 30, 40 years, they're averaging a championship every like 10 years. And especially with like torneos cortos, is that really that impressive? America's making history right now, and if they keep winning, bro, they're gonna be undoubtedly like the best team in Mexico, not even have a debate. But yeah, man, that's just my take on it. Angel, and I'm only including your hot take because you're Angel. Irving Lozano, the best Mexican winger. I mean, he's doing good for San Diego FC, bro, and I have his jersey right there hanging. His San Diego FC jersey, not his Mexico jersey. But like, are we really gonna say he's the best winger right now, bro? The best Mexican winger when Alexis Vega is absolutely balling out? No, we can't fucking say that. And I don't agree with that at all. But I agree that he should be considered for the national team, bro. That is a weak position for us, and the way he's balling right now, I don't doubt he'd make a difference. This one's from Anthony right here. Tigres shouldn't be considered a grande because they are mid. I don't think they should be a grande, but they're definitely not an equipo chico like they were looked at before. I mean, in recent history, they've been one of the better teams. And you know, in like 10 years, we'll look back at like the Tigres era of dominance where they just won a shit ton of titles all the time. And we'll actually be impressed, and that'll be their history. But to call them like mid, I guess that's where you can put them. They're not as big as America, Chivas, Toluca. I won't even say they're bigger than Pumas, but in the future, they could be considered a grande. We'll just have to wait and see like if they win any more trophies and how they have, and how they go after Gignac leaves. Or retires, better said. Luis Juarez again. Chivas Tetra doesn't count dino age. Now, this is a troll I personally like to use to say that Chivas championships don't count. Just say that they were in the dinosaur era. But you can't say that, bro. They count just as much as America's. What I will say is that I don't like how Chivas fans are all like, oh, you can't be talking about the past, but all they do is talk about the past. Like 99% of them were not even born to see this, yet they bring it up like it happened like 5 years ago or something. Like, bro, you gotta let this shit go. In recent history, you have been mid. That's just my take on it. And then we got Necaxa got robbed. Yeah, they did get robbed, but that's a whole different video. A lot of controversial takes happening. And as for my take on the Liguilla so far, watching America, first game against Pachuca was an absolute snooze fest, bro. That shit was boring as fuck. Second game I enjoyed, bro. Zendejas putting 2 on the board. Very entertaining stuff. Very, very entertaining stuff. First game against Cruz Azul, we just didn't look sharp. They got the 1-0 lead, but then we couldn't take advantage with 30 minutes having an extra man. Rivero is such an important player for them, though that red card did actually infect the game the next game. As for the second leg against Cruz Azul, very controversial, right? When they got the first goal, I genuinely thought it was over, bro, because we were creating so many opportunities that we just couldn't score. Chiquito doesn't seem like he wants to shoot the fucking ball. Henry Martin was getting point blank shots saved. It just didn't look like it was gonna go our way. But then, you know, the ref calls the pen, and is it controversial? I don't think it was, to be honest with you, bro. There was literally a defender in front of Mier ready to save that ball from like going in, because Buffalo realistically probably wasn't gonna get it. The defender was gonna clear it, and he just makes a stupid decision that cost his team at the end of the day. Like, he shouldn't be making that decision. Now, was it the most awful foul in the world? Absolutely not, bro. Obviously, Buffalo sells it a little bit, but that's what you do as an attacker, man. And I think it was a penalty. And then after that goal, Cruz Azul looked like they were just defeated for some reason, even though they were still through. And then Borja gets the goal. Absolute scenes after that one. But this is where I say, bro, like, that game deserved to go into extra time. I don't think they should have been like broken just because of the tiebreaker rule, because America finished higher on the table. I think it should have been decided on penalties, on extra time, and we could have gotten the ending that we deserved. That's just my take on it. As always, though, that's it for the hot takes video. I'll make another one after the final. Hopefully I can be there. Hopefully I can be in Toluca. We'll have to wait and see about that. But yeah, as always, let me know what you guys think. If you like the video, make sure to subscribe and like, and I'll see you guys later.